Okay, so I lost my championship, and I have to watch a bad Pokemon movie. Um, so I did, I like, something involving research, probably about what he did for the Goosebumps episode, but did a Google search, found a couple of lists, and yeah, some of the ones that were listed as the worst are ones I'd seen before, and yeah, they were pretty awful. And I deliberately picked ones that weren't those because I wasn't watching them again. The downside to that is I ended up going with one that is technically on Amazon, but I have to sign up for an additional service on top of Prime to get it. Luckily, it's like a 7-day free trial, so I'm just going to sign up for it, immediately disregard it after, maybe even before I watch the movie. But I should have looked up which one it was because I can never remember. I mean, as hardcore as a Pokemon fan as I am, I don't know how to pronounce half the names until I hear them, and this is a Pokemon I've not heard its name said out loud, so. But it's Kyurem versus the Swords of Justice. So hopefully after I watch the movie, I will have a better pronunciation for you. This actually sort of works out for me because I've mentioned some of my videos on my own channel that I am actually working on Pokemon fanfiction right now. And as part of my research for that, I have been slowly making my way through some of the movies, so this gives me an excuse/reason to watch another one and hopefully get some ideas for it like I did with one of the other ones. But yeah, enough stalling. I'm going to stop recording, sign on to things on my computer, and I'll see you soon. Well, that was a movie, I guess. Yeah, this is about what I was expecting. And honestly, for a while, I was hoping it wasn't, because for the first half, I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. And then I realized it was falling into the trope that just about every modern Pokemon movie I've watched recently falls into. And that a legendary or mythical Pokemon is on the run from one of the mascot legendary Pokemons. We're led to believe that the mascot legendary Pokemon is evil. And they're not, and it's just a big misunderstanding. And, well, it ended up just, Okay, first of all, I got the title wrong twice. It's Kyurem, and it's Kyurem versus the Sword, singular, of Justice. And even though I know it's not really pronounced Kyurem, because that doesn't make sense with how it's spelled, that's what everyone ended up calling it. Like, even the handful of characters said it right the handful of times, and it was like one or two specific characters that said Kyurem. By the end of the movie, everyone was saying Kyurem. And, okay, why not? But here's the plot summary. Keldeo is a legendary Pokemon training with 3 other legendary Pokemon to be a Sword of Justice. Whatever that means. And apparently part of that is challenging Kyurem. Why Kyurem? Never explained. But Keldeo is being typical, I'm ready. And the other 3 mentors are like, no, you're not. So he goes and challenges Kyurem anyway. And gets his butt whooped. His horn is broken. Like, that scene actually was like, oh wow, that's brutal. So, okay, I'll admit that got me. And then the other 3 mentor Pokemon try to bail him out, and Kyurem freezes them, and Keldeo runs away, and Kyurem chases it. And then Keldeo meets Ash and company, and they go back. And then they try to free the mentors, it doesn't work. Keldeo fights again. And even though Kyurem made it really seem like it was trying to kill Ash and company, once Keldeo protected Ash, and I and company and the other Pokemon and said, "You have handled your sword fine," or something. I know how that sounds, I'm not changing it. And then walks away. More or less the end. And, I was just, I don't know, I let myself get my hopes up, because for some reason it seemed like it was avoiding that trope, but it wasn't, and this is why I've just sort of given up on the anime aspect of the Pokemon franchise. Especially, this is a black and white movie from Pokemon Black and White Gen 5, and anime-wise, this is probably my least favorite. For no other reason than Iris, one of Ash's traveling companions, this one, is the most annoying of his traveling companions, based on one thing. One thing, and it bugs the shit out of me. But she keeps calling Ash a kid. And, like, in an insulting way. It's like, oh, this isn't going to be an example from the show. It's like, you like cartoons? Oh, you're such a kid. And the whole time I'm just going, how fucking old are you, Iris? How old are you? I'm willing to admit that's something that maybe isn't translating well, but they could have done a better frickin' job. And made it 30 minutes into the movie before I heard it the first time, and then she did it again, and just... And it bugs me out in that I kind of like Iris. I like her design, I really like her voice, but... Ugh. But... And another reason this movie is bugging me so much is it's going against the games, and I understand sometimes the anime has to do that, but Kyurem has... In the games, I think it's the sequels, Black 2 and White 2. I don't remember if it happens in the original Black and White games. I don't think it does. But part of that storyline of the game is Kyurem is kidnapped and subjected by the evil team of that game, by a mad scientist, to genetic splicing and is combined with one of the previous mascots. And that's what those designs look like. It looked like someone took this Pokemon and mashed them together. They are what has science done given visual form. In the anime, in this movie, Kyurem can just turn into those forms. No explanation as to why or how. Especially as to why. Because 9 times out of 10, when he turns into the fire version... No, this is the opposite problem. Kyurem is Ice Dragon in its natural state. You know, supposedly they're genderless, sexless, or whatever, but male voice actor. Very deep, gravelly, evil-sounding voice. But yeah, Zekrom and Reshiram, the black and white mascots. One is fire, one's electric. So you would think Kyurem would have to turn into one of those to use flamethrower or other fire attacks. But 9 times out of 10, when we see Kyurem use a fire attack, it's in his pure Ice Dragon state. So the whole thing is unnecessary. And that just bugged me. There was no story reason for it, no explanation given, and it just... the second strike against this movie, in terms of quality, I guess, is the actor that got to do Keldio's voice was none other than the subject of the kick-fick movement himself, Prick Lasagna. And part of me feels like that isn't fair, because despite Prick Lasagna being a terrible person, I think he's a really good voice actor. So the performance was great, but the whole time I'm thinking, oh, it's this asshole who I really used to really look up to, because I'm that gullible idiot. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, this whole movie, it was filler. It was generic filler of the movie. This whole thing could have been, and that's what I should have expected, because when I did my research on what's the worst Pokemon, that's what they described this movie as. Is that this could have been maybe a 2-parter of an anime episode. But yeah, it was just stretched out. He runs away, runs back, problem resolved. Oh, that thing that they went out of their way to make look evil wasn't really evil. It was just a big misunderstanding. Seriously, the only Pokemon movie of the later generations I've seen that basically didn't have that trope was the Hoopa movie, where Unbound Hoopa was clearly evil, but that was a whole other thing, because that movie made no freaking sense. Ugh. The animation was nice. Ash is still not a character. I mean, he was less annoying here than he is normally. Yeah. So, I'm also double annoyed right now because I can't figure out how to unsubscribe from that extra thing they're making me pay. So if I don't figure it out in a week, it's only $3 extra a month, but still, so far it's not proven worth it. But, alright, I've finally been punished. It took a while this time, but I was just like, oh, yeah, I see what they're doing here. I don't like it. So yeah, definitely gotta either get my title back or remember I have that money in the bank briefcase, because, oh jeez, this was so dumb. This was so pointless. And I'm gonna sign off here while I'm under 10 minutes for once. Bye.